My last solo show developed this growing interest of mine, thinking about the interrelation of a configuration of pieces. All of the works were copies or remakes. They were mimics of things or materials, so paintings of a photograph, a covered barbecue, bent table legs, furniture, bricks, a fence. They kind of acted like props, setting the exhibition up as a tableau. All my pieces are thought out to the scale of the human body and the sight lines of the viewer in the exhibition. So although the works are incredibly still, they encourage you to move around them. When developing a show, I think a lot about the angles the works will be seen and their scale, considering them in relation to the architecture. So I make a lot of paper and cardboard mock-ups, as well as quite often I'll do a scale model of the gallery to help me work through things, and I can swap artworks out, change the size of something, work through ideas in a way. Yeah, I'm really fascinated by this idea of using one work to recontextualize or redirect how the viewer sees another work nearby. So the shape or the form of one work might be repeated elsewhere in a new variation, starting to create a larger interconnecting web. The works reflect each other back, and not exactly, so I think it kind of brings a fuller, more complex way of looking or reading something which couldn't be achieved in just one work. A lot of my works make reference to art historical moments or movements, so the works not only have a conversation among themselves, but each brings much larger context into the mix. I'm able to bring together things which would normally sit at opposite poles. So one example would be abstraction and representation. Also ideas of the grid from a modernist perspective versus Renaissance perspective. The project I'm just beginning for my next solo show takes these ideas about context and installation further. So I'm making double-sided photorealist paintings, which are totally laborious and epic. Yeah, so I want to sandwich them back to back and put them in a T-frame. So only one face will be on view at one time, so you won't even know it's necessarily double-sided. But I think it's kind of interesting that there's like that much labor going into something which is not even necessarily on view. This might seem quite radical or futile probably, but this refusal has a personal resonance with my process, the care involved, my private, very solo engagement with the time spent creating an image. It also has resonance in the broader context of a commodified commercial art sphere, as well as addressing the private and public, the accessible and the prohibited. Over the course of the exhibition, they will be on view because I'm thinking about the show as kind of unfolding over time, a changing set of relations between the works, repositioning, rehanging the works in these kind of mini events. And so the exhibition itself is not stagnant, but slowly and quietly moving. And I think that showing the art handling side of stuff is interesting because that in a way becomes performed. Something which is normally not seen is on view. And it carries these ideas of opacity and transparency from earlier work. Here, taking it to the next level of the seen and the hidden. Yeah, and I'm thinking also about making clear glass rod sculptures, which are going to be like brackets or hinges, and they're based on wrought iron designs. So they'll be quite light visually because they're clear. The glass is a nice material as it appears to be both frozen and also flowing, so moving and still. It's transparent like a window. We're able to see through it, but its wrought iron form will reference a barrier, something prohibited, private, or protected. And the images that I'm going to be painting will refer to this movement or reversing or inverting. So this hiker's navigation pole in the Badlands National Park is like a central axis that could swivel. Or they have clues to double images, so 2 trees in the window, or hidden images with these sandwiched slabs of granite, or images that are private, inaccessible, protected. This is a photo of the Wolfsonian Museum in Miami. Context and installation counts for a huge part of the thought and consideration I put into my work. It's valuable to communicate concepts and enrich the work's formal possibilities.